So we're 116 days into Trump's presidency. 116 in numbers comes to country. It also comes to the word immediately, and President Trump declared something the other day on one of his channels and said the words or word immediately. It caught my attention. That's 116, and we're now at day 116 into Trump's presidency since the first full day since the inauguration. 116. So I've been thinking about this concept. Well, I think about it a lot actually, but I've been thinking about it again recently, and the concept of our lives and how we create our reality. Hey Vanessa. And I was talking with a friend recently, well, not long ago today actually, and she confirmed something that I've been thinking. And anyway, see what you think, folks. So, you know that scripture, John 14:2, and it says, in my Father's house are many mansions. I always used to think it said, in my Father's house there are many mansions, but it's in my Father's house are many mansions. And a mansion is bigger than a house, yeah? So the metaphor that Jesus is using, Jesus 74, Gematria 74, DeLorean 74, English 74, we're speaking. It's simple. The most beautiful and complex things are always simple as they need to be, so that even a little child can understand. And amazing, the real truths of the universe were understood as a child anyway. Hey Lau, Syrian, Jay, hey. So a mansion is bigger than a house. Then in my Father's house are many mansions. And I've said this before, but I believe that that's indicating universes and dimensions and portals that we create. And I think we're going to have more access to that deliberate access, almost like walking from one room to another. But then I was thinking about, okay, in terms of, for example, the RV. So and also this principle of borders that President Trump talks about, borders. So what does he talk about borders? I mean, we all share and we interact with each other. But let's face it, the way humans are, when people get very territorial turf wars, when they delude themselves about they think they own something. We all share the air, but then you get to things like even water rights, you know. They start to divvy it up and fight over, with each other on the nonsense of legalese and things like that. Let's say, for example, the earth is the house, but within the house there are many mansions, and mansions are bigger and more glorious and grand than a house by definition. So is this a junction point for many worlds, multiverses, universes? I think it is. I think we're going to get to the point where we can actually create worlds. I was talking with Kathy earlier, and she said she told her friend that she's here to create universes, and I'd been expressing to her that this principle of we create our own worlds, our own universes, and she got the same thoughts in her own, the way she described it, and it made total sense, and it confirmed what I was saying, and I confirmed what she'd been saying. But I think that's the reality. I think as time goes on, we'll understand more and more deliberately how that works and how we can create that and those universes. Because when we get to things like an RV, which is coming, then are we going to have a fire sale in all the best places that people and things that people want? Or are we going to explore into our own Narnia worlds and Harry Potter worlds and Tesla worlds and dream worlds? Because we live in our own reality. Well, we sleep at night, we dream at night, but we're in our own thoughts most of the time during the day. So we're going to get to the point where that's so clear and we can actually create. When people say, oh, you can think and imagine anything, it's not actually that. easy. I think it gets easier, but if you go into if you do things like hypnosis or just guided meditation, creative visualization, to actually construct in your mind how you exactly want something. I don't know about you, but it's always a little bit patchy. It's never quite as vivid as this. Does that make sense? I think as time goes on, I think the gap, the reality is going to be more real and richer as time goes on, and we'll be able to inhabit our own worlds and universes. And I think still here this junction point, but I think this might be a gateway to all of those, and it probably is at some level now already, but I think as time goes on, the Great Awakening, the understanding of that will increase. That's my thoughts on it right now. Our bigger case, but I think that the connection, the bridge between the imaginary and reality, but the reality is probably imaginary anyway, and vice versa, but I think we're going to get to that. Hey Diane, hey Kelly. Does that make sense, folks? Do you get what I'm talking about? So yeah, that's what it's feeling like. And out here in Swanage, I've not been here for a couple of weeks. Been meaning to, just haven't got here. But I have today, and it's beautiful. It's glorious. There was a helicopter maybe 8 minutes ago overhead. It's quite choppy out there by the rocks, you see, out that way. But the rest of it's quite just beautiful, calm waves. You've got the Isle of Wight out there, as you can see. Isle of Wight is 133 simulation. And yeah, anything is possible. And we're understanding that more and more day by day as we go on into the worlds of Narnia. And I'll give you a clue. So Narnia, if I remember correctly, is 57, which is Tesla, which is human, which is magician. So we're magical beings in the truest sense of the word, and it's done through a precision through Tesla, and folklore and great works of literature and art such as Narnia have taught us those principles. So yeah, there we go, folks. There we go. Here we go, folks. Got my scaler with me. Links are below. Still can get free shipping, international shipping, $30 off at the checkout. And also the chi balls, the chi balls, you can get a discount on that. That's in the description as well. The water balls, I'm using those and I'm noticing a difference. It feels different when I drink it, tastes slightly different, but it's a nice, almost a sweet taste, which is lovely. And but I'm noticing in my body changes by using the chi water balls, the Qelby balls, the Q balls, the quantum water balls. And they look like Maltesers, like those little chocolate balls. And I saw a film last week and they showed some brown like Malteser-like balls at the beginning of the film, and also a day or two after they talked about Maltesers on the front of the newspaper. So the synchronicities are there, folks. Am I being thought? Am I creating those realities in the papers and in the movies? Even from 25 years ago, when I watch an old film, it pops up. Anyway, one thing I know is confirming the goodness of the things that I'm sharing with you through the numbers and also through the healing devices such as the scaler and the chi balls. I should bring my glass flask with the chi balls out on some of the drives. I'll have to start doing that to show you. But anyway, click the link below. The morphogenetic code, the website, you can see, get them there. But enter Tom numbers and you'll get your discount on those, so make sure you do that. Lots of love, folks. I will see you tomorrow, and we'll be to 117. 117 is a very important number when we discuss all things manifesting. God bless. Take care.